100万 YouTuber 艾莉莎莎去年开设自媒体课程，吸引2万人报名，更创立香氛品牌，事业相当忙碌。近日，艾莉莎莎休假与男友赴土耳其旅游，旅途中不停遇到黑心计程车司机，让她相当崩溃，直言真的在路上大哭。昨日，她就在 IG 限动分享在土耳其旅游的荒谬事迹。她表示，土耳其的计程车超可怕，每次都坐地起价，然后常常计程车收了全额，他们自己开喊的鬼价钱，还半路把你丢包在路上。她透露，昨日要换饭店，2人叫了计程车，结果在古迹区被丢包。她与男友2人拉着这些行李走在石板路上快半小时，崩溃坦言，边走边哭，真的在路上大哭。吕杰阳也发现时以在土耳其千万不要搭计程车的原因强硬大叔篇为题，并公开 Google Map 解释他们是如何被黑心司机丢包。图中可见司机没有照着导航行驶，而是走其他路线，在假借封路进不去为由半路丢包乘客。过程中，吕杰阳说只能给100里拉，但司机强硬收250里拉，约台币500元。如果不给他，就不开后车厢还行李。而不只有一位计程车司机如此恶霸，吕杰阳还分享戏精大叔篇，说明上车前后多次询问价钱及是否跳表，大叔都回 no problem， 沿路还嘘寒问暖，热情地向他们介绍城市。未料9分钟的路程，最后却开出300里拉，约台币600元，让他相当傻眼。事实上，土耳其的计程车计价很便宜，6公里的路程收费大约40里拉，大约台币70元。这次艾莉莎莎与男友的土耳其被坑经验，也提醒网友，出外旅游要提高警觉，不要轻易被当地人骗了。
My Mandarin was non-existent at the time. I had to move to the mainland. I took a ferry from Macau to Shenzhen. I had an address written on a paper, and I knew the fare is 80 yuan. The first driver looked at me and told me the price is 200. But I told him, no, the price is 80. He just started shouting and left. A few things could irritate me from time to time, like the never-ending hustling about prices. Foreigners pay more for taxis, restaurants. It doesn't matter how long you live there. A part of living in China is getting used to being ripped off almost on a daily basis. Amada is here today, and I usually interview my guests and ask them why did they come here and what makes them stay in Taiwan, but to be honest, I have never answered these questions by myself, did I? So today I prepared a special video for you so I can finally introduce myself. Let's get started. When I was at a university, my friend asked me if I wanted to go traveling to Taiwan. It was 2011. Taiwanese Ministry of Tourism at that time wanted foreigners to plan a trip to Taiwan. I learned a lot about hot springs, tea plantations, temples, and high mountains, but sadly, we didn't win. When I was in high school, I always wanted to explore the world. The things are so different if you experience them first-handed rather than hearing from someone or, just seeing pictures or videos. As soon as I got enrolled at a university, I could apply for a scholarship and study abroad. I had a job interview online, got accepted, and a company invited me to work in Shenzhen. My Mandarin was non-existent at the time. I had to move to the mainland. I took a ferry from Macau to Shenzhen. I had an address written on a paper, and I knew the fare is 80 yuan. So I started looking for a taxi. The first driver looked at me and told me the price is 200. But I told him, no, the price is 80. He just started shouting and left. Then I walked to another driver. He said 150. I told him, no, it's 80. He shut the door and drove away. But I was patient. I handed the address to another guy and I told him, can you take me there for 80 yuan? The driver said okay. Fortunately enough, I arrived in the office and I officially started living in China. And my work and life was pretty easy. I could save like 90% of my salary. But I wasn't really happy. I wasn't doing photography for a living and I didn't see any chances to follow my dream. Second, China wasn't really a fit for me. Even though I made lots of friends there, a few things could irritate me from time to time, like the never-ending hustling about prices. Foreigners pay more for taxis, restaurants. It doesn't matter how long you live there. A part of living in China is getting used to being ripped off almost on a daily basis. Seeing dog meat at the markets was difficult for me. Wealth disparities, lack of free thinking, and freedom of speech. I also felt bad because the generation of my parents fought communism in Europe and I am living in a communist country now. I talked to my friend who actually had lived in China but moved to Taiwan. Well, just come to Taiwan, he said. You can find everything you can find in China, but everything is better. I remember the research I did before, the tea plantations, the temples, gorgeous mountains, the beaches, so I could see myself there. I felt it was the right thing to say goodbye to my students. I told them I have to move out. They asked me where I'm going. Soon after, they start shouting at me, "Taiwan is China! Taiwan is China!" 2 weeks later, I landed in Taoyuan. The friend who invited me and the only person I knew in Taiwan didn't show up at the airport. It was raining cats and dogs. Even though it was morning, it was pretty dark. That was my first time in Taiwan and I had to go to Kaohsiung alone. But I felt good. I felt safe. I felt like I'm in a very friendly place since everything was bilingual and people could speak English. There were many differences. First of all, I noticed people don't smoke indoors. In China, that would be normal, even in elevators, taxis, cinemas. During my first weeks of stay, I met lots of foreigners living in Taiwan for a long time, and quite a large group of them would run their own businesses. I realized I found a place I was looking for because I could do it myself. I can become a photographer here. I went to print out my business cards. I used to bring my camera everywhere with me and tell everyone I'm a photographer. Now Taiwan is my home, even though I wasn't born here. I'm very happy here. I have my family, my friends, and my work. It's all here, and I love it. Living in Taiwan is all about freedom and good taste. I don't know words I can use to express how thankful I am that I found a place where people are so kind and I could make my dream come true. I also realized that sometimes locals can really appreciate what they have. These are 2 reasons why I started my blog, to show my appreciation for the help I had received here and show the world that Taiwan is a wonderful country. Was coming to Taiwan a mistake? You know, the moment when I arrived first in Taiwan, I was 23 years old. I had lived in 6 countries before, and the list was growing. I planned to stay in Taiwan for a while and move somewhere else, but then I came here. I realized I found a perfect place for me.